Hey everybody, so I guess this is the first vlog that I'm doing. It's gonna be interesting because I don't vlog very much and I'm not used to it, but I decided I wanted to start with talking about the WSET and why I decided to go with level 2. So WSET Wine Spirits Education Trust, it's based out of London and they have other satellite branches, but the headquarters is in London. And it is a little bit different than the Master Court of Sommeliers. So as I go through this certification process, even if I go through the highest level, which is level 4, I technically can't call myself a sommelier. And the reason why is because I am not actually practicing the service aspect of it. I am more of a wine academic. And as someone who was like the typical nerd student who sat in the front row of every class and took copious notes and studied his butts off on test. Yeah. All right, so let's start off, I guess, with the different levels. So there's levels 1 through 4 of the WSET. There's level 1 in wine, level 2 in wine and spirits, level 3 in wine, and level 4, which is called the diploma. And the diploma basically encompasses everything. So you're gonna have to study your ass off a lot to get to the point where you can pass the level 4. All right, so the level 1, the Wine Spirits Education Trust level 1 in wine, it focuses on really the basics of wine. This is your certification level of if you didn't know anything about wine and you're truly getting into this glorious liquid that has enriched all of our lives for the first time. So you basically learn how wine is made, what is a red wine, what is a white wine, what are the major varietals that go into those. You also learn about things like food pairings, proper service and storage, things like that. So very high level, just so you can actually get your taste buds a little wet in terms of starting your experience. I don't know if I'm gonna keep that in there. If I do, then we'll find out. All right, so the WSET level 2. This one includes wine and spirits, which is great because I want to learn both. This one really focuses a lot more on the major regions and the wines that come out of those regions. What kind of varietals make up those wines? How are they grown? How does the soil and the climate impact the flavor and the characteristics of those wines? You also learn more about the production of the wine. So you learn how wine is made in that region. What types of methods do they use? Do you use barrel aging? Do they do steel tank? Do they do both? Do they do all sorts of other types of things to influence the flavor of the grapes and the wine as it's being made? So that's there. You also learn about labeling and classification. So you actually get to learn about the different levels of classification that are within each area. So you learn about the AOC in France and you learn about the DOC in Italy, for example. So it's kind of nice that you're getting a little bit of the law and you're really getting an understanding of what you're looking at when you're looking at a wine label. When I look at this wine label and I see that it's DOCG from Italy, I know it's from the highest level classification. So ideally the wine will be of a higher quality than something like DOC, just for example. All right, so the WSET level 3, this is where you really kind of just jump into the viniculture and the viticulture of wine overall. So you learn more about how wine is made, you learn more about how terroir and climate and other things impact grapes and the winemaking process, and you also get to learn sort of like some of the secrets behind those production methods and how they impact things as well. So it's if you're someone who geeks out about how things are made, like that whole channel, how things were made, then level 3 is where you're really going to have a blast. All right, WSET level 4. This thing's a beast, and this is also the diploma. It kind of incorporates like everything. So you're talking about everything from production methods to wine characteristics to how things differ from even subregions in terms of flavor and characteristics, winemaking methodology, things like that. You're also looking at stuff like global distribution and sales of wine. This is a huge section of the curriculum. I don't know if I can ever get there. I'll be honest. I'm looking at some of the stuff that people talk about as represented at level 4. It's gonna take a long time. And you know, I don't even know if I have incentive to get to level 4 until I get to the point where I actually am doing something as a career in the industry. But who knows, maybe as I go through these journey and I decide if I go to get a level 3 and I pass it, then maybe someone offers me that opportunity. But in the meantime, I'm just a humble wine reviewer who's vlogging about his learning experience. Oh yeah, the other thing about the WSET level 4 is it's sort of like the stepping stone to go into what's called the Master of Wine curriculum under the Master Course Sommelier. So this is that it's a totally different experience than becoming like a Master Somm. So a Master Somm is going to be able to tell you which winery in Bordeaux and what year is going to have a best pairing with your squab and cucumber meal. The Master Wine is the one who goes way more on the academic side and actual like the functional creation of the wine. So if you're thinking about like the service versus the people who back up the service, and that's where the Master of Wine goes. So it's a different curriculum, but the level set or the WSET level 4 really helps you get to the level where you're kind of going down that Master of Wine path. Even then, the Master of Wine curriculum is invite only, and it takes a long time, long time. And on top of that, you kind of have to have years of demonstrated experience at level 4 of using and applying your knowledge before you're invited to the program to begin with. So it's a pretty high bar. There's not very many Masters of Wine, and those who are probably the people that you just want to hang out with all the time, because they could just talk your ear off about wine and everything you would ever want to know about it. So if you ever meet one of those people, more power to them. There's not very many of them, and they're probably smart as hell. All right, so this brings me to why I am doing the level 2. So I've been running my website now. I started off as a blog, in case you don't know, and you've just been following the YouTube channel, but I actually started off as a blog back around, I want to say it was 2012. I'm trying to remember. It's been over 5 years. And I did a lot of wine reviews where I was kind of starting off like, oh, I'm getting into wine. This is what I'm tasting. I like it. I would drink this again. Then I got to the point where blogging like that for me was getting a little boring, so I added some twist to it. So it became more of a narrative review. So I want to say I was doing a review for, maybe it was Apothic Dark or something like that, and like I was pretending, I was writing a wine review from the standpoint of I was pretending to be locked in a dungeon. A mysterious figure is giving me something to taste, and I taste that wine, and I kind of talk to them about it, and then they let me go, and I'm free to wander the streets and find my way back home wherever I'm at. So I started having more fun with some of the narrative stuff, which is why whenever I try to do videos, I do try to incorporate some of those quirky elements into them from time to time, because just doing a standard wine review and saying it tastes like this and this and this, it gets boring after a while. I try to have fun with it, and also I kind of take some of the pretension, like the normal definition of pretension, not the wine definition of pretension, out of sort of wine itself. So kind of making it more fun, more approachable, because there are a lot of people who just think that they'll never like wine, and that's very, very serious. And wine can be a lot of fun and relaxed. It just kind of have to break down those walls for some people, and that's where I try to do that on my channel. So anyway, so like I said, I'm starting with the level 2 because I do have a longer background on wine than someone who's just getting into it. I have had a lot of wine over my life, and I don't feel like sitting there and kind of learning like, oh, this is a red wine, and red wine is made of things like Cabernet Sauvignon and Tempranillo, Garnacha. I kind of know that. I would like to get more information about, oh, hey, this is what makes this region special, and kind of going more in depth into things like that. So that way, whenever I'm tasting the wine, I can actually appreciate it at a higher level, and I can try to find a way to bring more of that information into the actual review. I'm actually contemplating not only doing my standard review on my channel, but maybe even, I don't know if I'm going to update it on the blog or I'll put it in the notes, but actually following the WSET level 2 guide in terms of the tasting guide for actually giving you the notes on it in that method. I don't know how that's going to fit into the channel yet, because I don't want to become too official on the channel, because that's not the goal of it. The goal of it is to be friendly and open and making it easy for people and give you something quick. Maybe I'll do something where I just put it in the notes. I haven't thought about that yet. If you have an idea for that, leave me a comment below. I'd be interested to know, where would you want to find that information if I was going to go dig deeper into that kind of stuff. Maybe I'll print them out and just post pictures of my description on Instagram or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, anyway, so that's it for this vlog. I'm probably gonna shoot one more real fast, but it's not gonna be here, it's gonna be on there, because my next vlog is gonna be talking about how you yourself can register for these courses and where you go to do all that. So in the meantime, I will see you guys later, and stay tuned because the study sessions start on vlog number 3. In terms of what you're seeing, all of this stuff is happening like one by one right now. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how my first study session goes. I'll see you guys later.